Trevor, NCGDF, or CDF as my dear friend Manzo has referred to, has a structural and constitutional problem. The infrastructure of CDF must find itself within the framework or the architecture of the Constitution. And since the structure flies in the face of Articles 174, 175, which talks about devolution and creates the two levels of government, Articles 201 and 203 of the Constitution, which talk about how funds are allocated and appropriated, and Articles 216 and 218 of the Constitution that talks about appropriation through Parliament, the CDF law is unconstitutional. And in spite of the amendment that members of Parliament purported to make in 2022 and 2023, it remains and is unconstitutional. And that is why the three-judge bench in petition number 178 of 2016 not only struck it down, but has given some opportunity to members of Parliament to make it constitutional. How is it made constitutional, Trevor? It is made constitutional by assigning it, or by ensuring that we amend the Constitution to embed CDF to the levels where it should be. And the proper level where CDF should be is in the county government. Why? Because constituencies are in the county government. And I'll tell you this. For instance, let me take Kisumu County, which has 8 constituencies. If CDF is available to members of Parliament, it means the governor of Kisumu County should run CDF or an equivalent amount that is run by members of Parliament should be channeled to the county government, and then a framework found to run that government. Remember, Trevor, under Article 195 of the Constitution, the role of members of Parliament, and that's 195 and 196, legislation, oversight and representation. And that is a role that members must keep. Even though members of Parliament, and my learned friend Manzo said that he was a member of the National Assembly, tried to distance themselves through creating committees to oversight CDF, they were still in control, because this CDF was still controlled or was largely oversighted by members of Parliament. And I think in that respect, therefore, CDF remains and is unconstitutional. At the barrier of the bodyguard of Raila Amolo Odinga, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga referred to this question, I think brought the controversy on whether or not the Constitution should be amended to embed CDF to the national level, because if members of Parliament are to have any role, CDF will either go back to the national government and controlled by the central government, national government, or to the counties. And MPs will and must lose control over CDF so that they perform the role that they're elected to perform.
Will and must. Okay.
Must. Yeah. And I think the problem, of course, that membership or election to Parliament will be very unattractive.
Yeah.
And I think this is the period I'm looking forward to, that we need to see a period when members of Parliament had no CDF. If you want to help your people, do it through representing them well in Parliament, do it through oversight, do it through proper legislation, but not through using a kitty to go to the villages and harass people. I do not think, and I don't agree with Mr. Manzo, with Senator Manzo, that CDF, that every member of Parliament has performed a noble, there was a noble intention with CDF to devolve money. Now we have devolved units created by the Constitution. Why do we need to replicate that through CDF again? We also have, for instance, the road, now we have another fight around the RMLF. The levy, and who should run the levy. And it is obvious, Trevor, that let us ensure that we house all these funds at the proper level, which is the county government. Remember, counties are crying about funds, yet we still, at the national level, appropriate funds to members of Parliament to do development at the national, at the county level.
Yeah.
Who then oversights these funds? It is a big problem because Parliament should oversight the use of funds at the county level. And here we have members of Parliament having their hand in the cookie jar. How do you deal with that confusion? Okay. We must stop this, Trevor, and I agree with the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, that this is the time when members of Parliament must also rise up and be counted and stop and support a bill that, not even support a bill. In June 2026, CDF ceases to exist.
Okay.
That is it.
All right.
Let us find ways of ensuring that our counties are strengthened. Yeah. Let us channel this money to counties so that governors can use this. And it's not a question that governors, because what I hear people say is that governors are not accountable and that governors will spend the money for other purposes. No, let us put governors to account. Let us ensure they deliver for the people who elected them.
Okay.